another video on maturing Feta. So I matured a bought. Now you see, I'm never prepared. I bought some cheap Feta. It's like that type of stuff. So it's not Feta because the ratios of it's probably just made up from cow's milk instead of sheep's milk or goat's milk or goat and sheep's milk combined in a certain ratio. So you can't call it Feta, but it is a dish. So I'm sure it. So I bought it because it's all right, and if you leave it in the fridge for a month in plastic, it improves with flavour. So you kind of get a better product if you can leave it in the fridge long enough. And I was kind of thinking that I would. I noticed that when I took the Feta out of the wrapper and wrapped it in some cling film, so it taken it out of its brine, it matured in a different way. It started tasting nicer after a couple of weeks. So I did an experiment, and I took some of the cheap Feta, well, Greek-style cheese, and I put it in some cling film, and I took another one and I wrapped it in some muslin cloth, and I left it for a month, and we had interesting results. They both tasted different and nice in different kind of ways. So the one in the muslin cloth kind of dried out by 50% and became a harder cheese, but kind of quite nice and still a little bit kind of creamy. And then the one that we matured in the cling film plastic wrap matured as well and became a lot more creamy as well. It's just not as it's not just kind of quite a uniform kind of colour, which would probably kind of put some people off, but it looks like it's starting to form a crust. It's because that's like it's like 2 weeks older. So it worked and it was a success. And then I was kind of thinking, well, it's all right if you're just buying like 200 gram things, but it's got a larger surface area so the centre of the cheese, the proper centre in there, is not that far away from the outside of the cheese. So it's not like a proper big block of cheese. So then I can buy. I was chatting to my cheesemonger friend, and I can buy. He will supply me with bigger blocks of Feta. It's not the cheap stuff. It's a proper Feta made with sheep and goat cheese, and it's a good quality one as well. He doesn't sell rubbish. So I was kind of thinking, well, we'll do the same with this. So we'll take it out of the plastic. We'll wrap one in some cling film away so it's out of its own brine, and that's because these kind of keep for. Yeah, so it's got like another 5 months worth of date on this, so you could leave it in there for 5 months in the fridge. By the time it comes to its use by date, it will have improved significantly. But that's a long time to kind of leave something. But so by taking it out of the brine, we're going to speed up that process. I'm waffling. I should be just kind of getting on. So scissors, because I'm not prepared. So scissors, just to kind of take the cheese out of its brine. It's better quality cheese, so it should mature even nicer than the two other cheap cheeses. Oh, that's no good, is it? Do you know? I thought it was going to be a solid block, and there's 2 parts to it. Is this one the same? No, that's a whole block. Okay. Right. That's a little bit annoying, isn't it? That's a little bit annoying. So, slight change. What we'll do, because this is going to dry out more, it's better, because the one wrapped in a cloth is going to dry out more, it's better that it's going to be in a bigger block. So it won't lose 50% of its volume, because there's more of it. There's less surface area for the inside, so obviously that smaller bit lost a lot more of its weight. So I'm going to do that. So cheesecloth, top of the fridge, where the fan is, and then that'll just help that dry out. That should be fine. That over there, that over there. So if I put that bit around the bottom, that bit's got be more covered up. So that's that one, and then a bit of cling film. to wrap the other up in. And if I'll tell you what we will do, we'll do it in the two, since it's into 2 blocks. Obviously what's happened is that they make it in a lot longer blocks, and the end of the block will be that much, and they'll have added it to the next block and then cut a bit off the longer block. So that's what they will have done. But what we'll do is we'll age these, we'll age them both, and then we'll kind of see, we'll get like a bit of a comparison as well. So that like that doesn't, it can be covered up anyway it likes. It's just to put it down. My hands are clean, so that's alright. So that in there, on top of the fridge, leave it for a month, and we'll see how it turns out in a month's time. But I have high hopes because it's a better quality cheese and it's bigger blocks, thicker. So, according to my friend who knows a lot about cheese, I shouldn't have wrapped the cheese in cling film. What I should do is I should put it in a container instead, because something about the fat solids, or kind of the butter solids, will want to come to the surface of the cheese, and if there's direct contact with something, and it will make the outside of the cheese a little bit like greasy. So ideally it needs to be in a container, he said, a sealed container. So I'm going to put it in a sealed container and see how that kind of turns out. So, and I said he said he needs to keep turning it as well. So you can leave it in there and then keep an eye on it. He says some moisture might come out of it. Drain the moisture off. Keep turning the cheese over, and then it doesn't sit in any kind of moisture. Then, so we've got this other bit of cheese, and some cheeses come wrapped in ash. So I was kind of thinking at some point I was going to do that, and because I've got this bit of cheese that was the offcut from that bit of cheese, I was kind of thinking, well, let's get some ash and let's roll it in some ash, and then I haven't got any, and then wrap it in some cloth, and then see if we can make like an ash rolled cheese. So I got some wood, and then I burnt the wood, and these are the bits of ash left over, and I've sieved it through a thick sieve and then through a finer sieve. So we've got some ash on there. You probably can't see it because it's what we call it. It's a grey board on a grey, well, bluey, greeny duck egg coloured tray. I suppose you can see a little bit of it there. But anyway, I need to get some cloth out. I'll pause and I'll get some cloth rather than banging around in the cupboards like I normally do. Right, I've got some cloth. So let's unwrap the cheese. Roll it in a bit of ash. You'll see the ash once you start rolling cheese in it. Terrible waste of cling film. But, so, cheese and then on the ash. And then we'll see what happens. It was a way of kind of protecting the outside of the cheese while they roll it in ash. And they just use any kind of ash, like they use like a vegetable ash commercially, or the ash from some burnt vine leaves, stalks type of thing. So I'm just curious, trying to get it all over without it wanting to fall off. Let's just, how's it taste? Doesn't really taste of anything, but at least I know it's not going to move it out of the way. It's not going to kill me. Now I've tasted some of it. Right, so that's that. Maybe just brush the excess ash off. I'm just winging it as always. It's that fine line of getting things covered and not having any kind of gaps in the ash and not putting too much on. Don't know how it'll turn out. I'll just sprinkle the bits on there like that. I don't know who would have ever thought of putting ash on some cheese. I don't know. But mind you, I faff around with stuff, think about things and have a go at stuff, so I probably would have come up with it at some point. What things can we roll it in? But anyway, so then that in there, and then delicately roll it up, and then we'll have it in the fridge, which is not ideal, but there's not anywhere that's kind of cool in the house that's not going to, like, I've got a cellar, but it'd probably just be a little bit too moist down there. Is that going to be too big? No, because I think we've too much cloth. I think we've got too much cloth. I know what we'll do. Do it that way. I think we've got too much cloth, so let's cut this cloth down a bit. I want the air to get to it, and the more cloth that's on it, the slower it's going to dry out. So, but it's going to dry out slowly anyway, so it's got the ash on it. Right, so, a bit on there. So it's already starting to draw some of the moisture out. Right. A little bit there. It probably needs to sit in the ash for a while, but anyway. So, up there, and roll you up. That'll be better. That'll be better like that. And then we're going to see what happens with that. And the other container, which is just off. But anyway, I've got ash on my hands. So that'll go in the fridge, and we'll see what it's like after a few weeks.